It's here, finally here. Sports Talk with Playeragent 3, delivering the goods all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. I'm your host, Miguel Tabron. My first guest, Mr. J. Coleman, 3D Sports. But first, I want to give a shout out to the Carolina Ale House in Wake Forest for allowing me to host my first podcast. So if you're ever in the Wake Forest area, be sure to stop by the Carolina Ale House for some good food and some good wings. Mr. Coleman, what's good, bro?
You know it, man. We working, as always. You know that's the slogan. That's the motto. I don't know nothing else but to work.
That's it, man. You the hardest working man in the Triangle area.
I would like to believe so, but I don't know nothing else. Like I said, I'm always working.
All right, that's good, man. So let's get right into it, man. Sanderson High School, man.
Yeah, Spartans, Anderson Spartans, class of 02.
Okay.
Class of
How
02.
was that, man? Talk about that a little bit.
It was good. Started there probably in like 99, and then I want to say, my sophomore year, we went to Wakefield because they was renovating Sanderson. So we was the first kids in Wakefield when they first built Wakefield. It was called Sanderson at Wakefield for a year.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I think I remember
for a year. And then my last 2 years, junior and senior year, we went back to Sanderson after they renovated it, and finished up there. I actually, my junior year, you know how it is here in Wake County, you move districts.
Right.
So I moved districts. I moved into Millbrook's district.
Okay.
And back then when you moved into a district, in order to go back to your same school, I was driving at the time, so I could go back to Sanderson, but we had to get clearance from Millbrook. So my mom's had to call over at Millbrook, and Coach McGinnis, who's the AD now, was like, sure he don't want to come here? I got a spot for him. I was like, nah, I gotta finish at Sanderson. I was the man at Sanderson, so I didn't want to leave that situation I had at Sanderson.
Okay.
But yeah.
So and then you took your talents to Shaw University.
First, I came out of school and I got accepted into North Carolina A&T State in Greensboro, and I went there with the intent and thoughts of walking on. I was one of those kids that said I'm D1 only. I made that.
Feeling.
Made that kind of mistake, but thought I was D1 only. I mean, like I said, I played in the Cap 8. It was the Cap 8 at the time. Every night we played against D1 guys: Shawan Robinson, Eric Williams, PJ Tucker. I made all conference every year. I was on varsity 2 years, my junior and senior year, and averaged 18 and 19 points. So I was like, if I'm playing against D1 guys every night, putting up numbers on the team, Sanderson, we weren't that good. So that was my thought process. If I can go out here and put up these numbers against D1 guys every night, and probably at the time, we were probably the best conference in the state outside of what they had in Winston, because Reynolds was always good around the time that we were coming up out in Winston. So my thought process was, of course, my coach ain't doing nothing for me, you know what I'm saying, or sending or contacting these colleges back. And for whatever reason, my recruitment never picked up. I think I only played 1 year of AAU, and that was like 15U. But that was just my dad's and my parents' thing. Was like, I grew up in the church, so we ain't missing church every Sunday for you to be traveling and playing ball. So I think it was a combination of that as well, and then not winning as much. Like I said, we were never at the top of the conference, because we played against, like I said, good guys, good teams. But with that being said, so that was my thought process. I'll just go to A&T, it's close to home, hour away, and I walk on there. Never got the opportunity in 2 years to really, I did all the things coach asked me to do, get film, get like 8 letters of recommendation, all of that, and I still never got a chance to like really try out. So from there, I did the, when you playing ball and everybody kind of knows you for it, guys were like, why don't you just skip school and go overseas? Another mistake guys make. Like, just think, it's just that easy to go overseas. So I did that. I went to they used to have like a little showcase in Greensboro for like overseas scouts would come in. So I went to that. Exposure camp, yeah. I'm drawing a blank on the guy's name, but he was major in Greensboro with the showcase camp. Went to that, did well. Then I went to the USA Select camp down in Charlotte.
With the USA Select camp.
Went to that. Went there, was like the I was in top 5 players at the camp. I was the top guard. So of course then, I had an agent come talk to me and my mother was like, what do you do? I was like, I work. I had a part-time job at Dick's Sporting Good in Briar Creek, and I train every day. So it's like, you ain't play no school ball? It's like, nah. And, explain to them my situation. But it was like, why don't you try school ball first? Because that's kind of like your resume, you know what I'm saying, when going overseas. So it was like, okay, cool. Talked with my mom. She was like, go play school. Worst case scenario, you come back after you finish school ball, and if you don't get nothing, go through this process again. So that's how I got at Shaw University. Back home in Raleigh. Ended up going there for like a workout. They had a guard go down to injury. Went in there for a workout, and Coach Michael Bernard, he was the coach at the time, kept telling me come back. And then like within a week, they had me in school. A week later, I started my very first game, got thrown right into the fire. We were playing against like the number two school in D2. They was out of Alabama at the time. I think it was Monticello or something like that down in Alabama.
Freddie Little.
Yeah, exactly. So did that from there. Started every game, made CIAA all freshman team my first year. Then right before school started my second year, they fired Coach Bernard, and we had Coach Bricky, who's head coach of Raleigh Firebirds now. Started pretty much every game there then, and then after my second year, he kind of let me go. They didn't renew my scholarship. So that was it. Tried to do the overseas thing again. Didn't have as much success as I had the first time, and then that was kind of it.
So let me ask you this. Coach Mike Bernard, is this the same Mike Bernard that coached
Central.
at Norfolk State?
Yep,
he
Central,
was a legend.
Norfolk State, legend.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
Coach.
Okay.
That was my guy, man. He was hard on me my first year. But again, like I said, he started me. He gave me opportunities, and it was a struggle mentally, just because I knew I could perform at the level, but which it actually helped me. But he was hard on me in first year, and then at the end of the year, your exit meetings, he was like, next year the team's yours. So I think he was kind of building me up mentally for that.
And this is Mike Bernard
you're
speaking about. Okay.
Yeah, correct. And he was like, look, next year I'm expecting you to, really, really take the reins and you the leader on the floor, off the floor for us. And then, like I said, like a week before school started, he got fired.
Wow.
Right. So and then I started all the way over with Coach Bricky. When he first came in, had a conversation with him about just the team and expectations and what happened to work to make the team work. And it kind of that year was even worse. I lost kind of like all confidence because I was getting kind of coached, one mistake, snatch.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Get back in, one mistake, snatch, where you're seeing other guys got kind of a little bit longer leash. So I understand that wholeheartedly when I see that with other guys. And it's tough, even though to kind of get in there. And, you tell kids, you're going to get taken out whether you make a mistake or not. Just go out and play, but it ain't that easy. So that's kind of how it ended after that. Overseas thing didn't work out. I think one of the biggest mistakes I made, even in the overseas thing, the second time around, I didn't sign an agent. I was just like, I'm going to just go up here and play, impress somebody and get on. So I kind of used my experiences in trying to get to where I was trying to go now to really, really help other guys and just trying to avoid some of those pitfalls and just knowledge and information on the aspect.
Yeah, and so talk about the 3D basketball that you have going on now, because that your program seems to be really big, especially in the Triangle area. I've seen you do some work down in Miami as well,
right,
with Ronnie Taylor.
Correct. Who's from Raleigh as well, Raleigh native as well.
So talk about that a little bit, and where are you going with this program?
I started 3D about 5 years ago now, and it initially started as 3D athletic training. When I started 5 years ago, the 3D stands for discipline, dedication, determination. It's kind of the motto I live by, the mantra. I feel like with discipline, dedication, and determination, you can you can accomplish any goal you set forth in life, and that's on or off the court or field of play, whatever you're doing. If you apply discipline to be consistent at what you're pursuing, the dedication to no matter what happens or goes on, that you're going to stick with it, and determination, again, just to stick with it no matter what happens, and to have that resolve that you're going to accomplish whatever you're seeking out to achieve. I feel like in anything in life you can accomplish those things with discipline, dedication, determination. So that's why we had like I said, to start off 3D athletic training about 2 years ago. I want to say 2 years ago probably. We switched it to 3D basketball, because that's all I was focusing on was basketball. I wasn't doing any other type of training. So we kind of made it a more of just a centralized focus of just 3D basketball. Still the same thing, discipline, dedication, determination. And I want to say probably about 3 or 4 years ago, I started off kind of with the slogan or the hashtag that you'll see on everything. We working.
We working. That's
it.
Yeah,
you see it everything, and you see it in everything. And like I said, that's kind of just like the mantra. Like, put your head down and just work. Yeah. Block out all the white noise or distractions and just work, and you'll get to those goals or whatever you're trying to achieve. So yeah, it started from, I had a homeboy that had an AAU team, and he asked me to come out one weekend and check him out. So I get there, and he's like, "Yeah, I need you to coach this team because I got to run over here and coach this team." So I was like, "All right, I was just coming to watch." So what ended up happening, it was over at Garner Road for they had 2 or 3 weeks left in the season. So I ended up just coming back every week and coaching the kids. So after that little season was over, one of the moms was like, "Yo, can you train my son outside of," because I played ball. My oldest son, he was just getting into playing, so I was coaching at Green Road, the rec center league, same leagues that I grew up in. So I was just trying to find a way to stay close to the game. I was still playing off and on, but not seriously, just playing in rec leagues, city leagues. So I was just trying to find a way to stay close to the game, and impress upon kids, because I love the youth. So once that happened, she was like, "Can you train my son?" So I was like, kind of like light bulb, So from there, I started training him, and it was like, I can do this. Like, this will keep me close. And then I have a knack for speaking and talking to youth and kind of getting them to respond to me. And so from there, it was just like, let's do this full time now. Of course, you go in like, yeah, I'm gonna get this many kids in the gym.
It don't work like that.
To any aspiring trainer, if you don't have no NBA player, nobody like that co-signing you,
don't work like that.
It don't work. It's this thing is truly a grind, especially to do it full time.
Right.
To do it full time, you got to kind of grow it, and you kind of, like I tell guys hit me up all the time now and kind of ask for advice, and it's just like, dominate your area first. People will see the work.
Yeah.
You starting to get kids better in your area, dominate that. Dominate your little part of Raleigh, North Raleigh, South Raleigh. Then people will start coming in from all parts of Raleigh. Then you'll get Durham, then you get Cary. So that's kind of the main advice I give guys that's getting into training, because I have people hit me up, and it's just like, just dominate your area and perfect your craft. Some guys be like, well, I need to save some money and get this piece of equipment. Like, bro, just get basketballs. All you need is basketball.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to have all the.
It's a different day and time, man.
Right.
Especially when I came up.
Right.
But this is what I want to ask you, because I see a lot of trainers, man, don't incorporate fundamentals when they're training these kids. How do you incorporate training?
So from the very beginning, the other reason I did it was because I was watching basketball, and in coaching those kids. maybe like 2 years before that, I had coached another AAU team. It was their first year. It was 15 and under. And I think my oldest son, he was like 3 around this time. So I started coaching. And so the main thing that threw me off and kind of set me back was we were in practice one day. I said, get in 2-3 zone. Kids looking at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Like, y'all fit, y'all
Exactly.
in, hold on, this 15. Y'all in 7th, 8th grade. Y'all don't know what a 2-3 zone is. So now I'm like, so I had to change how I coach because now I have to go into like a teaching. Like I can't do a whole bunch of plays if kids don't even know what a 2-3 zone is. Mm-hmm. So the other main basis I started was teach kids how to play the game the right way. Because I'm going to these AAU tournaments and watching these games when I was coaching. Like kids just don't know no basketball IQ. Like just don't know how to play basketball, how to read and react, and just simple stuff, or even get into a simple jump shot the correct way.
Right.
So when I first started, I built it off fundamentals. I was going to be the guy that was old school and did everything old-fashioned and slow, break you down all the way from the beginning, teaching you how to shoot correctly, teaching you how to play defense, slide your feet, teaching you how to step into your shot correctly, inside foot, outside foot. No crazy terminology to it. No, nothing crazy, just teaching you really how to. And so from there, that's where it kind of grew. It's like, yo, I don't have no gimmicks. I'm not going to teach you how to dribble 3-4 balls at one time. Like, we just going to learn how to play basketball the right way, fundamentally based. And so that's kind of, I'm still the same way. Like, I'm big on I call them the fundamentals. Like, I'm big on the fundamentals. So, like, that was kind of like my niche in the area when I first started. It was like fundamentals. I'm going to be that guy that, was fun. I just preach fundamentals, like the basic stuff. And then from my thought process is if you learn the fundamentals with your imagination and creativity, you can do whatever you want, but we got to have that firm, solid foundation first.
Right.
Then as you go and play more, then you can be more creative. It's
it helps you when you have the fundamentals down. It helps you when you get older, when you're an older player.
Correct.
You look at Michael Jordan. A lot of when Michael Jordan, when he was getting late up in age,
footwork.
A lot of his stuff was footwork.
Footwork, man.
That's what got him over.
Right. I mean, you think about it, and a lot of people, they holler and yell about the turnaround fadeaway, but a lot of that was footwork. Even like him, Kobe is a master technician in footwork. I study him and Mike, and it's just like, a lot of stuff that they didn't have later on as far as in like speed or athleticism. They was 10 times better than everybody else mentally, IQ, and just the fundamentals of the footwork.
Yeah, and it's today, man. You see the Euro step back.
Mm-hmm.
When I see trainers, this is what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Teaching 7-year-olds,
yeah.
8-year-olds.
They're not even strong enough to shoot a three, so how you going to teach them a step back going away from the basket?
And a Euro step. Let me ask you this. Do you think Steph Curry, Allen Iverson, how do you feel about those guys and the impact that, those guys have had on the game in terms of, Steph Curry shooting 50-footers, Allen Iverson with the signature crossover.
Right.
When Allen Iverson, when he came and he started doing the signature crossover, everybody and their mama was trying to do the crossover.
Right.
So how do you think that impacted the youth coming up and them learning the game?
I think it's just the overall evolution of the game. Because even if you can go all the way back to when Bob Cousy was, the signature point guard that everybody went after, and then you had guys like Earl the Pearl come in and add a little flash. It's just the evolution of the game. Like, you like I said, you can have the fundamentals that Bob Cousy had type of deal, but then you have somebody with an imagination come and have those fundamentals, but just add a different way of getting to the same spot. You have, we say, old school guys that, kind of fight that, but it's like if the results are the same, sometimes it's like no matter what, if it's legal, it don't matter how it look. So it's just like the same thing with, I think, with Steph Curry. It's just the evolution. Like, it was going to get to the point, they didn't have the three-point line. Then they added the three-point line in the 80s. So it's just a matter of fact, kids are going to start scooting further out because, if you start with something, it just, like I said, it evolves to something else. Just like with dunking.
Exactly.
In the beginning, it evolved to what it is now. Although, when it comes to the dunk contest, people say it's not as what it used to be.
Down.
Right, but that's just what it is. So I think it's good for the game. It adds an extra part of entertainment. But what people don't understand about Steph Curry and even AI was these guys worked. They didn't just start shooting threes. Or AI didn't. He was a athlete in 2 or 3 sports.
In football, yeah.
Yeah, like he was just as good as in football.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So it's just like, it's just that evolution, and then you just have guys that have the imagination to take the game to another level. Right. The same way I say with Kyrie. Like, I tell people all the time, Kyrie doesn't practice the moves that he does. He's just special. He just has an imagination, and it's a lot of it's just countering. He has the ball on the string, but that comes from a foundation of starting at a young age of being able to handle that ball. So, I mean, I like where the game is going. I like what Steph Curry has brought to the game because it's kind of like the underrated, overlooked guy can still be effective. I mean, that's the biggest thing with Steph Curry. He's giving kids that aren't 6'5" and up that can jump out the gym the confidence to still pursue this thing and not be like, well, I'm not Westbrook type of explosiveness, so still can make an impact on the game if you put in that work. Steph Curry, he put in the work from high school. He wasn't high ranked or top 100.
Davidson College.
Yeah, Davidson College, but he went there and put up numbers. He went there and put up numbers. So, and even more so now with college in the league, these mid-majors are producing some kids.
Oh yeah.
I got one coming out. You know what I'm saying? We got one coming out.
Yeah. Talking about these kids, man, especially dealing with kids, dealing with personalities, dealing with parents. Me being a basketball agent, I have to deal with the kids' personalities.
Right.
I definitely have to deal with the parents.
Correct.
How do you deal with different personalities as a trainer, as well as I'm sure you have to deal with parents?
Yeah.
So I mean, what's your philosophy? How do you handle those situations?
The parent thing, you kind of sometimes have to step back. I mean, I coached AAU with my son for maybe 3 years, and then after that, it's the thing with AAU. You have a whole team break up just because of dissension or parents' different thoughts or what a coach may do or should do. And so from that, I kind of took that hard because I spent a lot of time and put a lot of time and time spent with those kids outside of my kids. And, when I'm, doing that with kids, I'm loving on them, Yeah, I'm hard on them, but outside of that, like, they like mine. So I stepped away from AAU and kind of haven't went back just because it's different. Coaching is different from from training.
AAU is big time.
It's big time. Big time. It's political. It's it's a lot goes into the AAU thing behind the scenes, and a lot of kids' psyche can be damaged from it, and relationships can be damaged from it if parents don't have the right perspective on what it's for. So I have some parents that that kids that I train and mentor, they don't make a decision without contacting Coach J. Okay. Because a big part of what I do with 3D is mentoring. Right. Especially, single parent home kids, just moms, and a lot of these kids, they look to me, so I know I'm accountable for that.
So, well, let me ask you this. You just made a interesting point. You have 2 sons, correct?
I actually got 4 by way of marriage.
Okay. Well,
but 2 of
sons.
mine is biological.
Okay.
But yeah, I got 4. Yeah, I got 4
but,
now.
What if, your son's in, he's a senior in college.
Right.
Okay. He's getting some NBA interest.
Right.
Or he's getting some overseas interest. And we're calling. you know,
Mm-hmm.
JCK Sports Group.
Right.
We'll call him. And he's saying, well, you need to talk to my AAU coach. Okay? How do you feel about that? Because a lot of kids, instead of going to their parents,
Yeah.
they want you to talk to either their high school coach or their AAU coach. What do you say about that?
I think it's a case by case thing. I don't want to say that there's a general or broad template for that, because it all depends on the role that the parent has played in that overall process. Because some kids trust or lean more towards their trainer or their AAU coach or high school coach if they feel like their parents don't necessarily know the ins and outs of the sport and what's going on. For me, my son probably gonna send you to me. You know what I'm saying? Just because that's what it is. But I can't. You can't kind of say that for everybody. Now, if you got a dad that's super involved, he knows what's going on. He's been kind of protective of who the kid is around and who he trains with and AAU coach and stuff like that. The kid's probably gonna send you to his dad.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's a overall what one should do every single time, because I think it's different for the kid, for the player, who that coach is. A lot of times that comes the reputation that AAU coach or high school coach has. That makes a big difference as well. So it's a couple of different factors that comes into that. As an agent, I probably would, and you would probably know better than me, I probably would reach out to everybody that's involved. But I don't know. But of course, at first, I'm gonna go to whoever the kid says. If I'm not getting, if I go to the data AAU coach and not getting I don't know. It kind of depends. You can speak more than that as an agent. I don't know that side. But as a trainer, I went on college visits with kids because coach, I want you to go with me. I've had other kids that I haven't gone on because they've got either somebody else, a coach, AAU coach, or their parents are going. I've gone on college visits with parents there too. So I think it's just a case by case, depending on who the kid trusts. That's what it's gonna boil down to.
Okay.
Whoever that player trusts more than anything else. That's what it's gonna boil down to.
Now switching gears for a quick second. Basketball skills trainers have become big business.
Yeah.
Okay. There are some trainers that train out in Las Vegas that are making $10,000 to $20,000 a month training kids.
Yeah.
Where do you fit in?
I had this conversation with another trainer that's in our state. A couple other trainers actually, and the tough part, it's not a tough part, but the part about that is I think your demographic makes a big difference in that. There are guys making, you got the popular trainers that's making $100K a month, training.
John Lucas.
Yeah. But I mean, he got a crazy resume, so.
Yeah, and I understand.
Right.
I understand.
Right. I mean, there's some trainers out here that's charging kids $200 a session for our session, and for me, I don't think I'll ever get to the point where I'm charging a kid $200 for an hour session. That's just, I don't know. I ain't knocking nobody, but
right.
pro players, then it's different. But a kid, I mean, I don't know if you give a kid $200 worth of and I value my time. Don't get it twisted. I value my time, and I know I'm good at what I do. But also, you don't have to charge that much, and there's guys that's making that, like you said. I think it's the demographic thing. I think, in LA, Cali, places like that, people are willing to pay for the training. I think here, the biggest issue, and I've heard this from other trainers that are not from NC, I don't know if parents all the way buy into the concept of training, skill development.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially here because AAU is so prominent. I mean, you got to think in Raleigh, Durham area, it's probably over 100 AAU teams in just this area alone. So a lot of parents are like, let's just play AAU. You're going to have some parents, you're going to have a good amount of parents that that believe in the skill development, but it's just like, in California, in New York, in Miami, in those big market areas, you $75 to $100 for an hour session, they spending it. You tell somebody $50 here, if they looking at you like, that's
a wrap.
Because and the other thing is, it's probably 50 trainers in Raleigh alone. So I'm gonna go to old boy over here that's charging $10, $20. I'm gonna go over here.
But you get what you pay for too.
People don't understand that though.
You get what you pay for.
Yeah, it takes. What happens is, what I've seen in 5 years is, what happens is, they go around, they jumping around trainers for 2 years, and they kid at the same level, and then they'll go back and look at a trainer that had a kid that started with their kid around the kid at the same time, and like, well, he's from where my kid is at, from being inconsistent in training, from jumping to trainer to this kid that locked in with this trainer for a year or 2 years, and now I see where he at. So it's that process sometimes. And sometimes also, if your parent's not knowledgeable, they don't know. Exactly. When they see it, they know.
Yeah.
But they just haven't seen it yet. So then when they see it, it's like, oh, I need to go over there and I need to invest in my child. So the other thing is, like, I can't want to invest more in your child than you do. Exactly. I ain't training them for free. I've done that, but ain't no more free. So, because your time is valuable, right? So I think it's just, and we the hoop state, and still people just kind of really just don't buy into that. And then just like I said, the money is different in different areas. So like I said, people are not even blinking at $75 to $100 for an hour session. They paying it. Whereas, like I said, here you got too many options for one.
Yeah, right.
You got so many trainers you can go to, and some of them charging 20, and some of them doing a special here and a special here, and so I think that's the toughest part. But you can get there. Like, I feel like I'm starting to turn the corner to that.
The work that I see you putting in, you definitely gonna get there.
Oh yeah.
Man, I could sit here and talk to you for hours about a lot of stuff, man. A couple of more points that I want to touch on.
Okay.
Why should somebody hire you?
For me, I pride myself in the work, and the consistency. Tell people all the time, I guarantee you one thing: if you come in and work, and if you're consistent, I guarantee you get better. I can't guarantee you the NBA. I can't guarantee you. Like, my goal for kids is to get, and parents, I tell parents this all the time: let's go to school for free. That's the goal.
That's the goal.
That's the goal. Let's go to, whether it's D1, D2, D3, go to JUCO for 1 or 2 years and then get you a scholarship. Like, the goal is to go to school for free, get an education for free. Then you set, because you can get a degree and you can on a career path, or if you're good enough, you can get that exposure to maybe go overseas or play professionally in some type of capacity. So, like I said, I can't guarantee anybody the NBA. I can't guarantee anybody an overseas contract. But what I can guarantee, if you come with the mind to work and with that work ethic, and you're consistent, I guarantee you'll get better with me. It's proven. I got too many kids that started at certain levels and going to another level. And that's not no bragging. People that know me, you know me. I'm probably one of the most humble guys you'll ever meet. But I can guarantee you that you'll get better if you come consistent and if you just have that work ethic. Not to say that you gotta be perfect. I tell kids all the time, like, we in here for a reason to get better. So don't get frustrated you missing shots. That's why we in here. So don't be afraid to fail or mess up. Let's get in here and work. Let's get these reps in. Yeah, exactly. I stand by my reps. I stand by the work. So with the consistent reps, just like anything else in life, if you put in the work and practice in the right reps, you know what I'm saying? No gimmick, the right reps, I guarantee you'll get better. And we can achieve, and we can sit down and look at what your goal is. And as the years go by, months go by, we adjust our goals, because we're going to meet those goals if we're consistent. So we're going to have to adjust. But I guarantee, like I said, that you'll get better. if you're consistent with me, and I definitely gonna be consistent with you because I'm in the gym 7 days a week. So it's not gonna be a thing. It's not gonna be a thing that
Yes, you are.
I
can
can't.
attest to that.
It ain't gonna be a thing of where I can't get up with Jay, and he too inconsistent. That ain't gonna be the.
He's in the gym every day, all day.
That's a fact. Whether it's training and then on the weekend, whether it's AAU, like I'm in the gym. I live in the gym, but I love it. Like that's what I do.
That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. So I want to this last point, and I'm gonna end it on this. You had a lot of energy on Instagram, man. What is it, about a week ago?
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to
We can
add
get
to
into
it or
we can get into it.
Just you can chop it down just a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, we can get into it. I mean, it comes with the territory. It comes with success. My phone probably went off in those 2 days. I couldn't tell you. And a lot of it was, people asking, because people know me. Like, I ain't, if we ain't talking basketball, I'm probably in the cut. Now, basketball, we can do this for hours.
Right,
like,
exactly.
we can hold podcasts for 2-3 hours. Like, I can talk basketball. But it was just a situation of, a particular individual who's in the industry as well and in the area, just kind of slandering my name, and it wasn't the first time. So of course, you don't respond to everything, but at the same time, the reason I addressed it is because some of these kids and parents are naive and they just don't know. So if you're out here telling people, telling kids, and of course it'll get back to adults as well, that I'm paying to take pictures with certain players, or I'm training certain players for free, or I'm paying to go train at a camp with another trainer. Like, I get paid. If you ever see me out of town, out of the state, training at a camp, or going down to Miami for Art Basel and doing a Puma event with Puma basketball, or if you see me in New York doing a camp with my guys in New York, Gym Rats, shout out to them, or anywhere out of town, I'm getting paid for it. I'm not paying nobody to show up. Like, I do that here in Raleigh. Any kid that I train, or any kid that I take a picture with, I train. You can DM them, you can call them, you can ask them. You see them in public, you can call them and ask them. I train them. So that was the thing, because some people will believe that, because that is going on out here. Don't get it twisted. Some trainers are doing this. I'm not that guy. So if you know me, and it was just a thing like putting a face to it, because like you said, if you on my feed, you see the work. People see the work. That's the reason I posted. I post that I'm in the gym. I'm posting that I'm working with kids. But sometimes you kind of got to put a face and a voice with what you do, so that kids and parents kind of understand. Because kids, they can see the genuineness. When I get on that post and say that, they know I ain't playing no games. So, and it was kind of like a message to that person as well, that I'm hearing the whispers and stuff like that. So don't think just because I'm being quiet, like I can address what I need to address, because I'm a man first. So disrespect, I don't deal well with, as no man should. And so it was just because this particular person blocked me. Like, I ain't block them. Like, I'm not checking for you, but they blocked me on Instagram. But that's because you're doing kind of the same stuff that I'm doing it, and trying to make it seem like it was your original idea. Like, nah, like anything that I'm doing, if it's not original by me, now if you follow me, I'll tag it. If I take a drill from somebody, another trainer, I'll tag that trainer in it.
Right.
When I first use a drill that I may see somebody else doing, I'll tag that trainer. And then in doing that, me and that trainer will probably have conversation in direct message, DM, just showing love. So I feel like guys should do the same thing. If you're going to do something that I kind of started in this area, just show love. Like, or if not, fine. You ain't got to. But don't try to slander my name or try to make it seem like you're the originator of that, and then you out here telling kids and parents that I'm doing stuff for free for basically for the gram, which I don't move like that in any type of way. Because my thing is, like I said, like if I took pictures and showed you the conversations and people that I've been around in the past 6 to 8 months, it'll really blow your mind. But that's not what I do it for. Like, I go to certain places and I've been around the best players in the NBA. I've trained with Steve Nash and Kevin Durant over the summer. Like,
now, I've seen you with Rod Strickland.
Yeah,
that was big.
Yeah, and Coach John Lucas, and Coach
Yeah.
John Lucas at Nike Academy. You know what I'm saying? So I talk to those guys, but it's not a photo op for me.
Yeah.
Like, I really want to be in the industry, so I really want to build relationships with these guys. So I'm not here. Yeah, I'm a fan of them, but I'm here to. I really want them guys to mentor me. So I'm not here to just, hey, yo, take this pic real quick. It's not what I do it for. I really love what I do. There's a passion in what I do. And so when you try to take away from that, I'm just speaking on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, after this, I'm definitely not addressing it again, because what I told people that would hit my phone, like, Jay, I'm like, listen, I get it. I know I'm winning. It comes with it. It comes with the sales. I know I'm winning at this point, if that's what he has to do. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm winning, but I just had to address it. It ain't like I don't know where I'm at, or, you know, I know the success I'm having. I know I'm winning, but I'm still humble. So I just addressed it. I'm done with it. The guy reached out, called my phone. Nothing to talk about. It's nothing to talk about, because I know the type of person he is, and he gonna try to spin it. I don't have time for that. You're not gonna play with me like that. So we over it.
Yeah, I saw you had a little extra energy on Instagram. I said, let me find out what's going on with my man Jay.
So I mean, people that know me know who I am, and like I said, you usually gonna see me with a smile on my face. I'm super quiet outside of basketball, but at the same time, I'm a man. I just don't want to go there. So let me address this. So you know, because I know how many kids, parents, people are watching me and watch what I do. You know what I'm saying? I know the influence I have in the area, so I know I'm accountable for that. So I want to be responsible. So I'm not gonna fly off the handle, do nothing crazy, but at the same time, like I said, as a man, we're gonna address it, address the seriousness of it, and then we move on. Like, I'm not putting no energy in it. I got way too much going on, and so I'm back. You see, back to the grind. We back working right after that.
We working.
Back work. Same day I'm in the gym. Like, I don't have time for the negativity.
Well, Jay, I really appreciate you.
I appreciate you, man.
Through, man.
You know that. You know, I
This was
appreciate
big
you,
for me.
man.
I told you it was coming, right?
I believed it. I said, hey, when you told me, I was like,
coming.
look, man, whenever, let me know. I'm there.
And this won't be the first time.
Right. As much as you support me, as much as you support me, I gotta support back. I gotta reciprocate that support. So anytime, of course, anytime you need me, anytime you and I call on you as well for favors.
Exactly.
So we just building the relationship that we've had and just keeping it going. But I mean, I love what you're doing. Like I told you before, I want to be a part of it anyway. When you introduced, you know, that you was doing this whole thing, and so I want to continue to be a part, support, whatever you need me to do, man. I'm down for whatever.
My man, Jay Coleman, 3D Sports.
We working.